but as the most important question, who gives a shit? CJ, man, how was your week, my friend?
It's been pretty bad, man. I still don't have a car. It's kind of running together. I know I talked to Larry about that last week. It's still kind of one of those weeks where just you can't tell Wednesday from Friday and everything runs together. And I have a headache from Chinese food, so I understand Asian hate now.
Well, wait, yeah, Chinese food? How do you get a headache from Chinese food, man?
I don't know. I'm allergic to the fucking MSG or dog or whatever it is.
Well, Well, hold on. Let me rub some MSG in your wound. I got some good news about my other car, man. It's good to go. Finally done. Like mechanically, it's sound. They got it finished. They just got to detail it. I'm gonna be going and getting that bitch in a couple of days. I haven't had this car since we started this fucking podcast. They've had it for 10 months and a week. This fucking job. I got so many because COVIDs and other complications and shit like that, but all that's about to fucking stop. I'll be Tokyo drifting my fucking GTR again, man. I'm gonna feel like a fucking man again. Jesus. And man, that car's so great. It pulls all the twink fart pussy you could imagine, dude. It's a cool car.
Fantastic, man. I'm glad you're gonna be drifting around the streets of Texas.
I'm going to be taking this thing up to Austin here soon. I'm going to Colossal Con in Texas, and I'm going to be around. So if you want to link up, be sure to give us a call. Like just
you're going to bowl for some liberals, huh? You know, the pink-haired ones are an extra 5 points.
Man, I wouldn't want to damage my poor car like that. They're not even worth it. But if you're going to Colossal Con, Texas, and you want to link up, be sure to let me know and give me a call at 281-747-6015 and tell us who gives a shit.
Call into the show and tell me what anime you like, you nerd, and then I'll shove you in your locker.
Yeah, tell me what's the best anime you've seen in a while and why it's Konosuba.
I don't even know what that is. And I'm glad.
Well, you know, just be happy you don't have to deal with all that weeb shit, man. A very, very enclaved group of people. But one thing I did do was go and see Dune on Halloween. And that was an alright movie, dude. It was competent. I wouldn't call it a good movie, but it was worth watching.
That's the best review you can give nowadays. I don't think good movies are made. Every 4 years or so, Quentin Tarantino comes out and he'll make one, but that's about the end.
Well, I wasn't a big fan of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It was worth watching for sure, but it wasn't his strongest entry. Like, I mean, really,
I don't know, man. I thought it was pretty good. I liked the whole Inglourious Bastards twist on history thing. There's a lot of good feet in there. There's a lot of good
I
things.
forget about that. You fucking... Oh, man. All right. All right, I take it back. There was some dirty feet in that movie. I can see why you like it. All right, we're on the same page.
Dude. Shout out to fucking Margaret Qualley. You're one hot bitch.
Margot
podcast.
Oh, fuck. Well, we got a show this week. Like, we went down some fucking rabbit holes looking into journalists and seeing just some of the most ridiculous shit. Like, I really got into it this week, and the theme this week is 4chan. Everything that we're talking about seems like 4chan is fucking with us. That's really what it feels like.
It's not a clown world, it's 4chan world.
Yeah, well, oh no. Oftentimes it does feel like clown world. But, you know, everyone else is going to have to be the judge of that, man. So, I'm champing at the bit, but I know you are too, man. Do you want to go first or shall I?
Oh, let me go first, man. This first
All right.
one I actually pulled up quotes for you guys because this article is a special kind of retarded, and really the only way you can capture it is if I quote the thing directly. So I'm going to give you the headline, and we'll play our favorite game, Guess the Outlet. The 37-year-olds are afraid of the 23-year-olds who work for them.
That's the New York Times.
That is the New York Times. This article is written by Emma Goldberg, who we'll get into later.
That's why I know.
Mine.
There was a specific Reddit thread just for this article.
Really?
Yeah, that's where this fucking shit came from on To Catch a Redditor. This article is so I stumbled across this thing and I found out I started pulling quotes out of this thing too. Like just go for it, man. Fucking lean into this broad.
Well, Emma Goldberg is a quirky independent journalist, and I think
she looks like Ugly Betty if Ugly Betty didn't have braces.
Absolutely. And I think this quote just, solidifies her quirkiness. I'm going to read it off to you now. As a millennial with the habit of working on TikTok, Jessica Fain understood that skinny jeans and side parts were on the steady march toward extinction. But when Mrs. Fain, who works as a product manager for a large tech company, heard that some of her favorite emojis might also be confronting retirement, mainly the laughing, sobbing face, she decided to seek counsel of her juniors. Now, what a traumatic experience, Adam. This woman might be using emojis that aren't hip anymore.
Yeah, the Gen Zers might think her emojis are kind of trite and shitty, and, that makes them running scared. First off, emojis are shit. I don't emoji a damn thing. It is a fucking cold day in hell when I do that. I'm not absolute zero on emojis, but I am almost none.
Well, emojis are for women and people with a low intellect.
Yeah, if you've ever seen the Boondocks, I sent that bitch a smiley face. Bitches love smiley faces.
Well, Rabbitt, you're queer. You just act like a woman because that's what gay guys do. That's okay.
Well, there you go. Eggplant to you too, sir.
God, fucking Rabbitt. Okay, so now I got a quote out of this fucking thing too, and the sheer fact that Emma acted like this was like okay at all, and that this happened was really alarming to me. Ziad Ahmed, who is 22, founder and chief executive of Gen Z marketing company JUV Consulting, recalled speaking at a conference where a Gen Z woman, an entry-level employee, told him she didn't feel that her employer's marketing fully reflected her progressive values. "What's your advice for our company?" the young woman asked. "Make you a vice president," Mr. Ahmed told her, "rather than an intern." Are you fucking kidding me?
Adam, it sounds like they'll take anybody. It sounds like I could be the vice president.
So you're gonna let an intern be like, "I don't like the way y'all work," and they're like, "You deserve to be vice president." That does not sound like some shit that actually happened.
Excuse me, ma'am. Racism, and I'm very offended. You're hired.
Is racism the name of the intern?
So here's another quote out of this fucking article. Ali Kriegsman, 30, wasn't sure in the past how to respond when her Gen Z employees insisted on taking days off for menstrual cramps or mental health. Instinctively, Kriegsman wanted to applaud their efforts to prioritize their well-being. That is fucking horseshit. Anyone that says they have menstrual cramps or need a day for mental well-being, they just don't want to fucking go to work. It has nothing to do with like some mental state or some bullshit like that. They got anal glaucoma. That's what that is. They just can't see their ass going into work. I
did it with speech class. There was a day where I took one too many hits off of the vape pen, and I was getting a little high and Tyler, the Creator, came on the TV, and I was like, man, I just want to watch this concert. So I wrote an email about how I needed a mental health day, and I got the day off, no homework, no questions asked.
Well, so here's another fucking quote from this thing, and it's all okay. The article's already off the rails. This is where it completely fucking blasted off into outer space. You talk to older people, and they're like, "Dude, we sell tomato sauce. We don't sell politics," said Miss Kennedy, co-founder of Plant People, a certified B corporation. Then you have younger people being like, "These are political tomatoes. This is political tomato sauce."
Where are young people saying that?
So this is this is one of those sayings that I find very annoying when people say that everything is political. Everything is political the same way that everything is math. Yes, some shit can be described in political terms, but that doesn't mean it's useful, nor does it mean it's important. Like, nobody gives a fuck. Whenever they're like,
Also, writer of this article, what's her fucking first name?
Emma Goldberg.
Emma Goldberg. Politics it's a device used to sell things to idiots.
Legalize marinara.
If you work in an industry where you sell things, yes, technically everything is politics, because if you make a political ad about fucking tomato sauce, unfortunately, that's going to appeal to idiots, and they're going to buy it up. Oh, this tomato sauce is pro-queer. That justifies it being $4 more than the other one. Let's buy it.
They weren't talking about queer issues. They were specifically talking about Black Lives Matter. They wanted them to change their corporate logo to like a black square on Twitter or some shit like that. Like all these young employees are like, "Hey, you need to get involved in politics on social media." And it's like, y'all work here. You have a job. Get off your fucking phone while you're working. Holy shit.
They actually later changed their minds on the black square thing because so many people were doing it with the hashtag that there was just nothing but black squares and there was no real like Black Lives Matter information on the tag.
Oh, that's hilarious.
They blacked out their own information.
Oh, and also, I would love to get canned ravioli from George Floyd. So you guys need to work on that shit.
Make you want to dance a jig. So Emma Goldberg, let's talk about this fucking bitch. So she went to Yale and got her bachelor's in political science, and then went to Cambridge and got a master's in gender studies. So she works for the New York Times, writes a bunch of other articles for stuff, but there's something that was pretty interesting that I saw she got. Because every year, 26 outstanding North American teenagers are selected for the Bonfman Youth Fellowships in Israel. The fellows come from all over the United States and Canada from the widest possible range of Jewish backgrounds and are selected based on merit and not financial need. In their 5 weeks together, the fellows encounter the land and people of Israel, study Judaism.
This is fucking beautiful, Adam. I remember the first time we went over this, and you guys might have it as well if you look this shit up, this radio station. But it was like Eric Cartman, dude. It was so funny. I could not laugh at the next thing for like 2 days.
So when we're talking about the radio station, this was the leak. This is where everything got pulled together. When I saw that she was interviewed about going on this fellowship on Jewish Rock Radio. And JewishRockRadio.com was one of the funniest fucking things I've seen. This is where I'm like, 4chan is fucking with me. You can't make this shit up.
I don't know, Adam. From now on, I'm only gonna listen to music that has a J license.
Dude, the J license shit was like, I'm like, oh my god. They have like a council of people that like Jewish approved shit, and the songs on this fucking radio station. They took like Lady Gaga and then just replaced the lyrics like Weird Al style. Only instead of it being funny, it's about Judaism. It's
everything I expected. It's 20 years out of style. There's lots of bad Jew puns.
Dude, so you go to our Patreon. If you go to our Patreon, patreon.com/WGA shit show, we got, in all our tiers, the lowest tier that we got is $2, man. $2 is practically nothing. We'll give you the video feed of our recording, and it goes up like the same day that we record this stuff, just so that you can kind of see what's going on and stay ahead of the curve if you really want to see it. And then we give you bonus episodes at like $5, and it gets progressively better. Well, the baseline that Jewish Rock Radio will accept, the smallest donation that they're asking for is $100.
I mean, if you're Jewish and you can only donate $100, that's basically poor to them. So.
And I mean, it just gets crazier, and they don't even fucking give you anything. They're just like, give me $100, and I'm like, what the fuck? Man. So this chick and her article about like the generational divide was one of the craziest dog shit articles I've ever read, really, because she got almost everything wrong. And the sheer fact that like she's okay with millennials like bullying people into doing shit their way at the workforce shows that she has never had a real job. I got Gen Zers that work at my company. I've trained them and shit like that. You know what they do? They come into work and they do their fucking job. They don't sit there and try to dictate how the culture of a machine shop works because everybody's talking shit to one another. And I actually do a real job, so people are actually concerned about shit rather than fucking politics. People are busy making their parts, and then they go home and fuck their wife. That's how that's how the shit is supposed to work.
No, I've never had a job, but I'm gonna go on a limb and say not all Gen Zers go up to their superiors and they're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do anything you tell me. Your emoji game is trash."
Yeah, that's not how this shit is working. You get written up and then fucking shown the door if that's happened. Like, this is one of the benefits about, like, whenever we talk about the benefits of right to work, there's a lot of shit I don't like about it, but one thing that will definitely happen is you got some dumb shit like that, they get the fucking boot fast. You don't need that bullshit around the fucking office fucking up morale. And, like, in some passo aggro fucky fuck games where they're just trying to find a way to get a foot in to sue you. Nah, fuck that noise. And also, they're acting like millennials are fucking running shit now when they're really not. Like, I grew up in like I never had a fair chance at a job. Economic recession started right after September 11th. When I turned 18, it was 2003 and the economy was still fucking trash. And then 2008 happened, it got even more trash. And that was the time when I was fucking hustling and shit like that and actually doing okay. Like, I never had a fair shake at a job as an adult until I got out of prison. It was fucking garbage. And there's so many people that are millennials that are underemployed, barely making it, living paycheck to paycheck because boomers won't let go of their old ass fucking jobs and they're getting overpaid and bleeding companies dry. And Gen Xers are very much in the same position and they're acting like Gen Zers can just come in and dictate shit. Nah, that is not how this is going. It might in some microcosms on like the coasts and shit like that, but people that actually understand how a business works they're not letting this shit fly.
If I go to the American marketing meetings, because we have the American Marketing Association at college, and it's all these guys that have been at the company for 40 plus years, and they do a job that a computer would do, but everyone is afraid to fire them because they're sworn in. That's who's running companies. Not fucking 19-year-olds with good emoji games.
Yeah, and I mean the shit that they're acting like these Gen Zers are capable of is does not make money. Like, for Mr. Dunn, it was a reminder of how much he relies on his youngest employees. He's fluent in millennial, but that doesn't mean he knows all the sensibilities of Gen Z. They celebrate human emotion instead of having an outdated framework of what a corporation should be. How does human emotion make you fucking money? Like,
Yeah, it doesn't.
like this, not unless you're fucking
Well, you can manipulate
manipulating
it.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like,
Well,
oh, how about
but
this?
if you run on emotion, that only works if you're in something like politics where you have to lie to make money. Or marketing, I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh, how about this? Mr. Dunn, who left Bonobos, is now founding a social media company, hired a Gen Zer to read a draft of a book he's writing and notify him of any potentially insensitive or inflammatory language. Oh, what? Why the fuck would you do that?
So just every page is going to be highlighted. Delete the whole book. This is gaslighting.
But yeah, you can say the whole book is gaslighting. I don't understand how people don't understand that any publicity is good publicity. Like, whenever all this outrage happens and then people freak out and then backtrack on shit like that, if Donald Trump showed anything, you don't back down, you double down, and then you'll get what you want.
Absolutely. When in doubt, just do the thing that got you in trouble in the first place, but do it harder.
There's a video game that came out, Ion Storm, and there was some outrage around that because there was like some gay reference or something like that in the game, and people were causing a shitstorm. And they were just like, "How about fuck you?" And guess what? It didn't affect sales negatively at all. Quite the contrary. And people were happy that they did not back down, and it made people want to buy that game. And it was a good game too. Don't forget, like.
Fucking Cuties, dude. A movie that no one would watch if it didn't have all the pedophile outrage behind it. Literally 0 people would have watched that movie if there was no outrage manufactured behind it.
Now, here's something that Emma says, as millennials have made it clear through their own workplace ascent, one generation's weird can quickly become the new normal. I think it's already happening, said Mr. Ahmed, the Gen Z consultant. Do I think we already control the power? No, but we're pushing the envelope.
Fucking Gen Z consultant.
You said the quiet part out loud, man.
Yeah. Gen Z consultant is probably the most middle management job I've ever heard of. Is that guy like 55 or?
So that dude is. Hold on, let me take a quick look. See, Ahmed. He is 30.
30, okay. So he's just warping as a boomer?
Oh, wait, no, that's a different Ahmed. All right, Zaid Ahmed, he's 22. Founder and chief executive of the Gen Z marketing company. What the fuck? He's a Gen Zer himself. Like, the way
you're 22 and you invented a worthless title like that, I gotta get in on this hustle, man.
Yeah, no shit. Oh man, like this article was something else, dude. And you found this thing early, and I'm glad that I had time to dig into it and look around at all this shit. Because, man, you couldn't make this shit glow in the dark any harder. Like it's such.
And that's where we get to the who gives a shit about this part of the show. Nobody gives a shit about this, and it's not real. The people that pretend that this is the real thing, it's the fucking millennials and boomers who are trying to keep their jobs, their middle management jobs, and they're creating a fake divide between generations in the workplace, so it makes it easier for them to keep their bullshit job that a computer could do.
Ooh, that's an interesting take. I was going to say that the people that give a shit about this are millennials that are overly sensitive about shit. And because Emma also wrote an article called The Me Generation, which was about the boomers. And then she wrote another article called The Me Generation, which was about millennials. And I find that fucking annoying because they want to act like millennials are so fucking selfish and all this shit. And when we got the fucking raw end of the every deal, man, they call us the boomerang generation because there's just no way to make it unless you are just exceptional, like an extraordinary person and able to just have everything go your way. And it's fucking horse shit. So like I can see millennials get mad at something like this and feel like that Gen Z is just incredibly entitled to be able to just do what they want because we've gotten shafted so fucking bad.
This is just, it's not a real thing. This is made by the older generations so they can keep their jobs where they do nothing all day.
Yeah, when every single ad gets canceled off of Twitter, then, I think that some of these marketing companies are going to change their tune pretty quick whenever the fucking woke well dries up and everybody's beta bucks go somewhere else to anime figurines,
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Actually, no, because if woke marketing stops, I'll actually have to think about how to sell things. So please, everyone stay woke so my job stays easy. That's what I'm asking.
Okay. Well, let's get out of your topic and get into an article that I'm bringing in. All right. Here's the headline. Guess the outlet. Our favorite game. Elon Musk offers to sell Tesla stock right now if UN can show how 6 billion would solve world hunger. All right. Who do you think wrote that?
Now I saw this on Twitter, but I'm going to guess that the Washington Post.
Close. CNN.
This one. CNN, okay.
Yeah, specifically CNN Business. And I kind of give a shit about this, man, because it was fucking funny. Like, I like Elon Musk, actually. As far as,
he put the, this fucking space nerd put the UN in their place. It was hilarious to see.
Like, anyone that becomes a billionaire is a son of a bitch one way or another, but at least Elon Musk is funny and is kind of like a kid at heart in a way. He just wakes up one day and is like, yeah, I feel like making a fucking flamethrower. Then the post office is like, you can't do that. It's like, all right, well, I'm going to make not a flamethrower and mail it to you then. Like, that's awesome. And, you got some UN bureaucrat that's just a fucking pencil pushing, like, jack off that doesn't know shit about shit. That just says, hey, $6 billion will cure world hunger. And Elon Musk is like, well, if you can tell me how, I'll solve world hunger right now. And he's like, well, whoa now. About that.
Yeah,
like
we didn't actually have an idea. Did you think we had a solution? We're just trying to get money out of this deal.
Yeah, so in prison we call this a hoe check, where someone fucking talks a lot of shit. They're selling what's known as wolf tickets. They're trying to cash a check with their mouth that their ass can't cash. And he got called out. And the dude immediately was just like, whoa, fuck. And Elon Musk was like, hey, if you have transparency and the accounting and everything, $6 billion, I'll write that check. And the dude's trying to talk about like reduction of conflict and trying to keep people from being murdered and all this shit. He's like, you said world fucking hunger. Then Elon Musk tweets at this guy an article about how the UN in areas in Africa, people got caught trading sexual favors for food. So Elon Musk was like, how about you also, can you stop raping kids? Fucking owned, dude. Fucking owned.
Is that
maybe
real? God damn.
In the defense
I normally talk shit on
UN.
Elon Musk because I think he's just some dumb South African guy, but shit, that's cool. That's funny. That's very funny.
But in the defense of the UN, Adam, maybe they're feeding kids with their semen. Did you ever think of that?
Yeah, they're trying to make them double dip.
Ending world hunger with cum. Sounds like a great idea.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Now, I am not a really big fan of the UN, man, because there's a lot of toothless shit that they do that is completely pointless. And
Oh yeah, it's just another organization that's trying to make the world one government so they can slowly erode our freedoms over
I
time.
don't even think they're that, man. Like, that's giving them too much credit. They just seem like shakedown artists to me.
Well, yeah, every government organization is a shakedown artist group, essentially.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of what, like, how much would it actually cost to end world hunger? What would you have to do? Because, for one, you're not ending world hunger without shooting a lot of bullets, because there's just so many war-torn, fucked up places. And even then, you're never going to stop it, man. Let me give you an anecdotal story about when I was locked up.
I
So
got a
right before
very cheap solution for world hunger. All right,
yeah,
UN, write this down. Make sure you got one of your nerds with a pen and paper. Write this down. We just send Tess Holiday to Africa and let the kids eat her.
oh,
Boom.
and, I don't know. I don't think their digestive tract is going to be able to like digest all the cottage cheese and butter.
Taking out two problems in one box.
So when I was locked up, my ID unit was Ramsey 2. And there's a lot of old schools there that had a lot of stories about shit that happened there. And one thing that happened was hurricanes coming through. And they evacuate. But when they evacuate, you think they evacuate the prisons? No, they leave your ass there. They're like, don't drown. Good luck. And what they do is they take like some days of food and they just dump it into the day room and they distribute it to everyone. Well, and then they leave. They're like, good luck, motherfucker. Well, about that, it doesn't stay evenly distributed for very long. The people that are hungry, that want to end up on top, ended up having all the food through various ways. It was either artfully done, it was not really through intimidation, but they managed to get what they wanted. You're never going to be able to actually distribute this shit. There's always going to be those that are going to want to take, that are going to want to leech off the system, and some people are going to left with their dick in the dirt. And that's just how it's going to be. So you can try to throw money into the hole of solving world hunger. It's never going to actually happen. You can mitigate it, you can minimize it, but don't act like it's just going to fucking stop. And don't act like it has a price tag on it. It's going to require like so many fucking man hours. It's crazy. Like, you know, if it's $6 billion, then that means that's what? 300 million man hours to solve world hunger? Like, that's crazy. The amount of effort that it's going to take to actually come up with a logistical system to deal with all this shit. And that's just not going to happen. And like, you know, Elon Musk deals with these weird, grandiose things. And so sometimes you can see numbers that are kind of big. And Elon Musk is a billionaire. So he kind of understands what $1 billion can buy. He's like, this dude's fucking full of shit. Ho check.
Yeah. Apparently $1 billion can buy you a 5 from Canada. That's what Elon started.
I think that Grimes was attractive enough, but I mean, look, Elon Musk is a sucker, dude. So since he was like in college, he was constantly chasing after the hot chicks, like a weird autistic guy that doesn't realize that he's not that attractive. He's constantly trying to punch above his weight class and shit like that. And
The bitch,
you know,
the bitch looks
Don't just
like
call me
she
out like that,
smelled. The bitch look like she smelled like salt and vinegar, Adam.
you can plug your nose, like you know. Like, there's a lot of weird bitches like that are surprisingly fun in the sack and shit like that. But as soon as she opened her mouth, I would lose my fucking mind because, God, pretentious artistic bitches, or I've known a lot of them, dude. I've known a whole lot of them. And, God, the number of simps that they have is absolutely insane. And, poor. I mean, I feel bad for Elon, actually. I really do. Dude's just got a fucking penchant for, you know, he just wants to be loved. And he can't help but always try to find these fucking ratchet ass hoes.
Well, we all want an art hoe, so I get what Elon is going through. Everybody at some point in time has had an art hoe phase.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, that's really all I got to say about Elon and world
And
hunger.
I got a message for you UN officials. The phrase, what would you do for a Klondike bar, does not mean you can just have some fucking Ugandan child suck your dick. That's not what that phrase means.
Oh, damn it, dude.
Stop
All
it.
right, so
Leave poor Nawe alone. He doesn't deserve
Yeah.
it.
So this is the middle of the episode. We would normally do our voicemails, you know.
Hi guys, this is Charlie.
Having my mouth and anus aggressively penetrated.
But we didn't get any voicemails this week, and I'm starting to get a little concerned. Like, you know, call us about fucking French fries or some
Yeah,
other shit,
you guys
man. You know,
call in.
281-747-6015, man. Give us a call. Holy shit. And I know people, man, we got a huge uptick in listeners, by the way, and we cracked a big ass milestone, and we got people that are like tackling the whole backlog and shit like that. Like it's pretty cool to see, dude.
Yeah, and we've had some great guests on the show. I know the last week's episode with Larry got a couple new people in, so that's awesome
Yeah.
to see. But we want to hear you call in and bitch about shit.
Yeah, bitch about Vito being on our show, and other things that are Vito related, you know.
I guess I can be kind of a blue-pilled beta cuck at times.
But let's get into your last article of the week, CJ. So, what do you got for us, man?
This is a doozy. Kyle Rittenhouse, he yawns at his trial.
Oh, that's a fucking headline.
I say
That's
kill
a
him.
fucking headline.
Washington Post.
Close. The New York Post.
Oh, okay, wrong coast. Okay, so you had mentioned that it was about Kyle Rittenhouse yawning, and I looked up the video of this shit. Like, he yawns once in like the middle of the fucking trial, and then like the judge is just sitting there like looking up some law on a monitor where nothing is being said, and there's some dumb procedural shit that's going on, and yeah, the dude yawns like a bunch of times.
Yeah, you know why? Because the law's fucking boring, nerds.
Also, I guarantee you this dude's not sleeping really well. I remember having to go to court and shit like that. It's fucking nerve-wracking, dude.
He should be pounding White Claws and banging girls named Stacy, not at a fucking
Dude, at one point during the fucking Kenosha riot, Kyle Rittenhouse had to give 2 White Claws to some guys to get them to chill out and leave them alone. Like that's an opening statements, dude. So, what? All right. Who gives a shit, man? Who gives a flying fuck about Kyle Rittenhouse yawning in his trial?
The woke Twitter seems to give a shit. You know why, Adam? Because him yawning is a white supremacist signal. You see, Kyle Rittenhouse is responsible for the next January 6th, the next insurrection. And he's simply signaling to the alt-right super bad guys on the internet that now is the time.
Dude. Okay, my brain just short-circuited a little bit. Like, you white supremacy for yawning?
Yeah.
Dude, as soon as you said that shit, it felt like my brain was like some windswept plains, and then the wind began to howl, and I was just like, I'm like, are you, what?
Well, once again, 4chan, this is my theory, again, because this just seems like 4chan. It's got their fingerprints all over it.
Oh, yeah, because everybody yawns at some point, and so if yawning is a sign of white supremacy, that makes everybody a white supremacist, so no one is.
Yeah, you got that. You got that right, man.
Fucking awesome, dude. Now that is a fucking pro level hack right there. Like that's
Control, manipulate scientific data.
like that's fucking awesome, dude.
The boys at 4chan did it again, and now yawning is racist. No.
So yawning is a dog whistle for white supremacy and complacency. It's shooting people that support colored lives at protests or something. Am I tracking that?
Basically, if the next time you yawn, it means you want to murder black people.
Oh my god. Okay,
That's
I
just
did
one of the
actually.
most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
Man. Oh. So the Rittenhouse case is interesting. So is there a discussion to be had? Sure. Mainly because Frank Hassel, he might have made the video manlet destroyer, but Kyle Rittenhouse is the real manlet destroyer. He shot that fucking sex offender that's 5'3" and 150 pounds, which was also brought up in opening statements, by the way. And that one is hard to tell exactly what went down with that, because that one's not as clearly captured as Jump Kick Man and the Skateboard Bro. And in that one, that's as clear-cut case as self-defense as you're going to get. Dude's getting chased down, gets knocked over, gets assaulted with a weapon. He just starts blasting and shoots these people because he's on the ground. They're trying to get his shit. That's as clear-cut as you're going to get. Now, this fucking aggro manlet that's getting in people's faces, saying that he's down to go back to jail and that he's not scared of that and that he's looking for if there's trouble he's gonna be there and shit like that. I wouldn't be surprised if this dude was acting so aggro that Kyle Rittenhouse was legitimately scared of this dude. And I didn't know that someone on the side of the road also just fucking shot a handgun in the air while this dude was into Kyle Rittenhouse's face.
Yeah, I don't know much about the trial.
It's an important trial. No, as far as Kyle Rittenhouse yawning, I am trying to even figure out who could even pretend to give a shit, and it does seem like a meme to embarrass people. I can't even wrap my head around it, dude. It's really short-circuiting.
Antifa has ran with it. They just pick up every ball that 4chan throws at them.
Yeah, and then smash Dick's head into it. Yeah, the Kyle Rittenhouse trial is something I've been following because I do believe that self-defense is important, and I am a very big supporter of the Second Amendment. Even though I am not allowed to own a firearm, I support your right to own and have one and use it.
You could always get some bear arms at maybe a taxidermy.
Well, I mean, I can still have things that I could use to protect myself as a convicted felon in Texas.
The amendment says you have the right to bear arms, so you can just go get some bear arms.
An acquaintance of mine owns a machine shop and has a company called Bear Arms. And what he does is he teaches you how to machine a little bit, and he'll walk you through the process of turning an 80% lower into an AR. In this class while you're getting a concealed handgun permit at the same time. It's amazing, dude. It's awesome.
I stole that last joke from Hannah Gatsby. I'm sorry.
Take that, bitch. Fucking Hannah Gatsby. Oh god, you want to talk about a bitter fucking cunt? Oh god. In a just world, this bitch would just be beaten to death by her girlfriend.
Comedy is about rape, Adam. It's about a rape story in an alleyway. That's comedy.
Yeah, I've seen some shit that people say is comedy, and I'm like, man, I don't think... I don't want to be the arbiter of what's funny, but I don't see anybody laughing. I'm not going to bat for him, but I'm not exactly going to tear him down either.
Comedy isn't about making people laugh at him. It's about telling heroic rape stories that may or may not have happened.
No, that's not what I heard. I heard that comedy was a dog whistle for racism, and it's just an excuse to be racist.
Well,
I don't
that's
know about
only
you,
if
but I've never needed an excuse to be racist.
That's only if you yawn through a set, Adam.
Oh,
Dave Chappelle, you better hope they don't find you yawning, buddy.
yeah, no shit.
You're gonna go crazy.
The fucking God, like, this is so hard. I don't get it, dude. I just don't get it. How did the New York Post write about this shit? Like,
No, they didn't. They didn't come up with the racist part, to be fair. The New York Post just said that it is a admission of his guilt, which is also wrong. Also really wrong. He's just bored. Because like I said, he should be smashing White Claws and shooting 12-point buck. He shouldn't be in a courtroom. But the real gem of this story is the guys that are quote tweeting the headline and coming up with complex theories about him yawning is gonna trigger another insurrection.
oh, like it's a QAnon signal or something like that?
Yep, it's a QAnon signal.
It's to show JFK's coming?
Exactly. Kyle Rittenhouse is QAnon, or knows him, because
Definitely knows the guy, has to.
by yawning, he's triggering the next revolution, dude. Are you ready for it?
He's trying to infect everybody with his RNA special vaccine that has the upgraded 6G microchips inside of it.
Well, I, for one, am tired of racism, Adam, but I'm not gonna yawn, because that would mean I'm a racist.
Oh my god.
And
And on
you
top
better
of that,
not yawn
yawning
during
is
this
infectious.
podcast.
So if you yawn around people, it's going to make other people yawn. So it literally makes white supremacy viral?
Yeah, you're spreading white supremacy.
Now the picture's starting to become a little bit more clear. All right, I'm starting to connect a couple of dots.
Pretty soon, everything is going to be white supremacy, and it's just not going to exist. Which is actually good, because no one's going to take it seriously anymore. But,
I'm gonna come.
It's insane, the amount of people who are making, like, Alex Jones connect the string type theory. They got, like, fucking pins and a ball of yarn, and they're just connecting one page
Everything
to
is
another.
Pepe Sylvia.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. Alex Jones sees somebody yawning, and he's like,
Are you for Hitler or against Hitler?
gotta know. Like, this is pretty fucking ridiculous. Like, man, I almost don't know what else to fucking say about this shit. It's so fucking out there.
Fucking stupid on both sides. You got the right saying, oh, this is it. This is the sign from Kyle. Insurrection Part 2. Electric Boogaloo. We're coming. And then you got the fucking left saying that this is a white supremacy sign.
God. That's fucking retarded. As far as who gives a shit about this, no one should. And if anybody does, just stop talking to him, man. Do yourself a fucking favor.
And it reminds me, I was watching a Bugs Bunny cartoon where Elmer Fudd is yawning in a bed. So I had no idea that Elmer Fudd was a white supremacist.
He definitely is, man. That's
Okay,
where
well,
Fudd's
no
come
idea. It's Elmer Fudd.
Man. Well, let's get out of Kyle Rittenhouse and into another Kyle Busch. So let's play our favorite game, Guess the Headline. Kyle Busch apologizes after using slur and heated post-race interview. I used a word I should never use. Who do you think wrote that?
Is it ESPN?
No, it's USA Today, but we get to play another game. Guess the slur.
Oh, man. Is it for gay people? Is it a slur for gay people?
It is not a slur for gay people.
Oh, is it an old-timey slur?
Retarded.
Retarded? What's retarded?
He said that this guy
Who is
that had
a
caused a
slur
wreck and everything
for?
was retarded.
But everybody in NASCAR is retarded, so it's just
I know.
a term of endearment over there.
Well, not like they fucking dragged this dude through the mud over this shit, and on top of that, they fined him in this post-race interview. Man, they fined him $50,000. Now, this dude is a fucking Chad because they fined him $50,000. He paid him $70 so that they could buy something nice.
That's hilarious.
Good
job, retard. What is his name? Kyle Busch.
Oh, Kyle Busch. So here's what I need from you, CJ. You are the arbiter of the R-word pass. You gave me an R-word pass back when you were on Chimping Out with Isaac Jackson, and I have cashed that thing in time and time again, man. I use it liberally. And Kyle Busch needs an R-word pass, and you are definitely able to give it out to him. So if you can find
Kyle Busch and everyone at NASCAR, I know you came from a trailer park, and that must be very rough. And your mother's name is Tanya, and I can't imagine having a mother named Tanya. So you all get the R-word pass out of pity. Congratulations.
Man. And the amount of indignation that people are having over this dude saying retarded is absolutely retarded. Man, because it goes back to the same thing where people are getting offended on other people's behalf, man. If you are actually retarded, you're too retarded to get offended by people using the word retard. And people that are retarded aren't getting called retarded themselves.
Yeah, that's what I tell these retarded white women, Adam, but they don't seem to understand, because maybe they're retarded.
Yeah, I literally got in an argument with my mom about this fucking shit. Because she used to be a teacher, and she's like, well, you can't, when I was teaching and all these people, you really shouldn't be saying that because it's bullying and it upsets people. I'm like, fuck these kids. Anytime you say that you shouldn't do something because kids, come up with something else because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, if you give me that reason, I'm gonna do it to piss off the kid. So
oh man, I hit her with the Sam Hyde. She's like, well, the bullying and all this stuff. I'm like, the kids should be bullied early and often. It gives them character.
But man, I'm kind of
cyberbullying. That cyberbullying is some weak dick bullshit that makes people pussies. No, like slap them around, push them a little bit, call them a retard in front of a principal. Do some time over it, man. Let them know that you're really willing to do some time to bully them so that they get some character in their life. Then maybe they'll be funny someday.
I'm really surprised that this is coming out of NASCAR. No, this has to be like some outsider, rich journalist that had never seen a NASCAR race in their life.
Well,
right?
We had talked about some NASCAR shit a while ago, man, because if you recall, back in March, there was a guy that just straight up said the N-word. Like, with a hard R and everything.
I don't remember that. That
he was
Dale
doing
Earnhardt, maybe?
He was doing like e-races whenever the fucking pandemic was kicking off and shit like that. He got dropped from a ton of shit. Now, in this one, like, he's not, people are trying to cancel this guy, but canceling him is too retarded. So, they're just settling with a fine. And this dude, he's coming out all right on the thing. Now, apparently, he was so pissed about this fucking wreck and shit like that he like turned off his headset and didn't hear from the pit crew that there was like people inside like the pit area that he was pulling in at. And he got kind of close to like running a couple people over. But the way they say this, when they say, oh, he came close, I'm like, this dude was a fucking country mile away from you. But the sheer fact that he got anywhere close is like, it's people being overly sensitive again. He didn't hurt anyone. Like you chill the fuck out, Jesus.
Well, yeah, this whole story is retarded.
Yeah, it's incredibly retarded. And I'm really glad that you gave Kyle Busch the R word pass. So, next time he can be like, hey, Crippled Jesus gave me the pass. Take it up with him.
Absolutely. Mention my name, too.
Yeah, I mean, I've had to explain to a lot of people, like, I had to explain to my partner why I still say retard and why I'm not going to change. And, she's got her whole therapist thing going on and talking about considering other people's feelings. And I'm like, no, sometimes you need to say fuck your feelings and you need to fucking get your shit together and stop enabling and stop, just be like, nah, fuck you.
Feelings don't care about your retard. Ben Shapiro.
And man, I had me going off about how I'm not going to change my language for anyone, man, because nobody gives a fuck about me, so I don't give a fuck. Like, that's just straight up what it is.
No pussy or money on the planet is worth not saying retard. I'll say retard also, for the rest of my life.
I use retard in context too, because I am a machinist. And one of the things that is about being a machinist is that you're constantly cutting stuff and it's done at a particular speed and at a particular feed. And if you're changing the speed and you're making the spindle go slower, you are retarding it. So I say retard to people that I'm training all the time. Like if it seems like the speed's a little bit fast, I'll just say retard. And that means fucking turn down the speed. That they know what that means. And it's used in context. Like, I'm not a fan of banning words. Like, not really. Not unless you can demonstrate like actual harm. And there's not a whole lot of them. Very few.
Words don't cause harm. Now, I generally don't say the N-word because that's a good way to get shot in certain parts of the world. But other than that, there's really no word. That's awful.
I actually do say the N-word, but you'll never hear me say it because the people that I say it around, these are people that I did dirt with. They're part of the street life. I got the pass from them, and I had to earn that. And the reason I got it is because I treat that word with respect. And anyone that doesn't understand that has no reason to be saying it.
Well, I got a pass from the poker room. I just don't feel the need to use it, man. I don't know. Maybe it's not in my vocabulary. Retard definitely is. Retard is high rotation. I maybe say retard 30 times a day. But the N-word was just never in my bag, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, man. I love the reactions whenever, like, I'm talking about you and I say that, like, you were trying to set up computer shit, but this dude's a crippled retard, so, it's kind of hard. Like, the look on some people's face is so damn funny. I don't know what he is. What do you want? Like...
Oh, that's great.
Oh, man. Well,
but I wish you the best, Kyle Busch, and with that, I think we have to catch a Redditor to get into.
Absolutely. So, this one is about Elon Musk and world hunger.
From r/politics. Theon's Pride in a Box writes, Elon makes a grandiose yet meaningless gesture he'll never follow through on to distract from the fact that he really, really needs to be taxed. Gray Plant Boxes writes, we could just tax him the $6 billion, but that would be socialism. Staring into the Abyss 2 writes, please just go to Mars to build your libertarian bro society that'll collapse faster than Rapture did in Bioshock. Merman Greg writes, all these tactics just to avoid paying taxes.
Yeah, fucking get with it, dude.
Dude, fucking Mars Rapture sounds awesome. I want to be injecting plasmids and shit like that. Dude, that game kicked ass, dude. Like, they're really not detracting from Elon Musk.
Stop paying taxes, retard.
And also, none of this shit had to do with taxes. He was willing to just rip a check to solve world hunger. They're like, why aren't we taxing this guy? Like,
he was calling their bluff. Reddit got it wrong once again.
Yeah, paint me surprised. Let's see what Reddit has to say about Gen Z, specifically the article that Emma Goldberg wrote.
From r/late stage capitalism. Red8 writes, I agree. A boomer won't complain. They'll show up and work a 12-hour day and get the same amount of work done that a snowflake Gen Z would have done in 5 hours. I know this varies by industry, but the majority of boomers I've worked with should have retired years ago. You're a drag on the company, and you're making six figures, and you rely on your $30K a year subordinate to do literally every part of your job that involves a computer. And I despise that they try to justify their unwillingness to learn as being old school. You're inefficient and obsolete. Oh well, maybe not, writes. Lol, he has the bullshit pro-exploitation attitude in his post, but he also has his pronouns in his profile. I gotta be honest, I wasn't expecting it. Existent David 1138 writes, the future won't be enslaved.
That first guy was onto something.
Yeah, he actually mirrored something that you basically said exactly. Like that little rant right there was kind of on point. Like, people are kind of on board throughout the generational gap on hating boomers because they're such pieces of shit.
Right, yeah, they don't have any value in this world, really. Yeah,
they're just about to be a big-ass drain really quick. Let's see what Reddit has to say about retarded NASCAR.
From r/NASCAR. Baseplate writes, it allows everybody the chance to save face and recognize that next time they'll be hell to pay. I take my kid's phone away for a day and she moves on. If it happens again, I get to drop her off at the local orphanage. K29 writes, I'm actually shocked that they find Kyle. I wish it was steeper though, 50K is nothing. Danny the Dude writes, but some guy on Reddit said cars have the right of way. The Seawall Serum writes, they do, but this was reckless. I don't know what this guy was thinking.
What kind of fucking narc? Poster number 2, you fucking retard. Did you say you wish they find him more than 50K?
What? Yeah, what's that
fucking
gonna
idiot.
do?
You're retarded. You're the reason that word needs to exist. It's because of you.
The dude's also worth like 30-40 million or something like that. Like $50,000. He's barely feeling that shit. He doesn't give a fuck.
But fucking, it should be zero money for using the word retard. You should be allowed to say retard.
Yeah, we're taking it back, man.
You're not even catering to the retards because they don't even know that Kyle Busch said retarded. They're not even aware. It's not like some guy said the N-word and you're alienating your black audience. Retards,
which doesn't exist, by the way.
Right, yeah, exactly. Retards don't know when you say retard because they're too retarded to figure out what retard means.
Oh my god. Okay, that made complete sense to me, actually. Like, all right, let's see what Reddit has to say about Kyle Rittenhouse.
From r/AskALiberal. Bender710 writes, prominent conservatives that are declaring him as clearly acting in self-defense will raise funds to provide him with a top-notch legal team, will talk about what a shitty childhood he had, and he has some kind of undiagnosed mental illness. I'd be surprised if a jury finds him guilty. Explorers X Muse writes, his intent to murder began with him crossing state lines with an illegal weapon. Big Daddy 1272 writes, I think in the case of shootings in a vacuum, yes. But since he drove miles to a protest to stand around with a gun, self-defense goes out the window. Abin Rib writes, Rittenhouse showed up with a weapon, escalating the situation. Why aren't you asking if everybody else was acting in self-defense? That's how I interpret whatever aggression was towards him.
What? Okay, first off, you're allowed to travel around with a weapon. You can have a gun. That does not show
as
intent.
the brand new owner of a brand new firearm, I'd just like to step in and say that I'm deeply offended by some of the comments I'm hearing against firearm owning peoples.
Yeah, they're acting like just because you have a gun on you, like you're just itching to use this thing and murder someone. Like that's not true.
Rabbit, they're called people of firearm. That's the correct term.
Oh my god, that's actually a good term, man. Like, I hope that takes off. Like, yeah, I'm just a person of firearm. Why are you coming at me like that? You're not taking my sensibilities into consideration. My God, they're like, he crossed state lines with a firearm. First off, no, he didn't. And even if he did, who cares? If he was like 18 at the time and everything, you can just cross the state line with a gun, whatever.
Yeah,
like
I crossed state lines with a firearm when hanging out with buddies.
And like, God, dude, I used to go all over the fucking place back in the Gap with the fucking gun. I didn't leave anywhere without one.
Well, you
Like, I
did
had to
get a
make sure
felony
that
charge.
not for hustling and shit like that. I didn't have a gun when the dude ran up on me. If I did, I wouldn't have got a felony. Like, it's, oh man, like people just demonizing firearms, like people are just itching to use this shit. That is not the case. It's just like a condom, man. You'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
And
You
sometimes
never know.
they can be used for fun.
Yeah, guns are also just cool. Like, this is straight up killjoy bullshit where people just don't like people having nice things. Like, get fucked, nerd.
The same people who want to get rid of guns are also the same people who stop smoking and said.
They're the same people that say you need to wear a life vest on a boat.
Yeah. Fuck.
And
well,
you know what? That's retarded.
Yeah,
And,
it is.
With that, I think we can end the episode. Unless we have
Yeah.
anything to plug.
Got a couple things to plug. So the episode of Roast Mortem where I talked about Iceberg Slim is out now. Like, I was a little bit misinformed about when it was coming out. I forgot about King John. So that is out. Check out Roast Mortem Cast and listen to the episode with Iceberg Slim. I actually researched quite a bit about this guy. Like, I appreciate the guy's hustle, and I talked quite a bit about like the street life and the shit that this dude was talking about. That was a really good podcast. And also be sure to check out our friends at Not for Human Consumption at nfhcpodcast.com. It's a really great show, even though they might harass Home Slice into trying to get on the show when he really doesn't want to. You know, it's okay. You got anything you want to plug there, CJ?
Young Quip was banned on Twitter. He got his account suspended.
Donovan?
Yeah, Donovan got his account suspended. And his new Twitter account is Young Quip Comedy. And that's his new Twitter account. So everybody go follow it.
Yeah, check out Donovan, man.
He had no idea why his Twitter was suspended earlier this morning. Just, if you listen to the show, if you follow me on Twitter, I already plugged him. He's a very funny guy, one of my favorite guests, one of my favorite internet people in general. So,
yeah, Donovan's great. Yeah, don't let these dudes try to sweep this guy's legs out from under him, man. God.
But Young Quip Comedy. Follow him.
He'll be back on his feet. Don't worry about him.
Oh, all right. That's all I got for y'all this week, man. See ya.
See you, man.
See ya. Stay horny, everybody.